Minister Jonson, thank you so much again for speaking again to the Kyiv Independent. First of all, congratulations on joining NATO. Can you tell us about how it feels and what does it mean for Sweden's trajectory going forward in history?
It means that Sweden is going to be safer and NATO stronger by having us inside the alliance. We are now covered by Article 5 and NATO's common defense planning, and it's going to bring stability and security to the whole northern flank. Our armed forces have a high degree of interoperability, and we've been exercising before, and we've been taking part in NATO's crisis management operations, but now we're also covered by the regional plans, and that's good for our security. And it's of course a big juncture with our past, because we're coming from 200 years of military non-alignment, but due to Russia's full-scale invasion into Ukraine, it became evident for the Swedish population, but also for the public that, and for the political parties, that we needed NATO full-fledged membership.
We last spoke in Munich just a month ago, and there was a very gloomy atmosphere. They had this slogan of lose-lose. How is it on your end, behind the scenes, a month after Munich? Do you feel things are moving in a more positive direction, and what kind of action is being taken in the European community?
Well, we presented our 15th support package to Ukraine, which was the biggest so far, and it was important for us to do that in order to compensate now that some of the support has been going down. Then we have to step up. What's happened after that is, of course, that we've been receiving funding from the EU also to ramp up production of 155mm caliber ammunition, which is necessary both for replenishing our own stocks, but also providing more ammunition to Ukraine. We have also joined the Czech initiative of providing artillery ammunition from third countries as well. So things are mixed right now, because I know they're very hard in Ukraine. Of course, on the Black Sea, it's very encouraging with what you have been doing to able to push away the Russian Black Sea Navy, but on the land forces, things are challenging.
I was going to mention the initiative from Czech President Pavel about finding these shells. Sweden has joined on the funding side. Can you tell me, what was it like? I think many people were surprised how quickly countries came together to work on this. Why do you think that's happened now, and how involved is Sweden in the actual process of delivering them?
I think it was a very good initiative. I had the privilege of meeting President Pavel Petri when I was in Munich, and he came then presented this initiative for me. It's good for several reasons. One thing is, of course, it's good that we're ramping up production inside Europe, but that's going to take time. That's going to take until next year or the year after. Then we're going to be able to triple. But here you can provide ammunition quickly, and we think that is very commendable. And we can do that without taking too much of our own stocks as well. So we very much applaud the initiative by the Czech Republic in this regard. So what we've done is that we tasked our procurement agency, FMV, to establish a contract also with their Czech counterparts, and we already can provide the fundings, and we could get things going within, as far as I understand, within a few months. And I think that's absolutely crucial, because the Ukrainian soldiers absolutely need ammunition, particularly 155 and 152.
Speaking of 155, we also know that Stockholm has worked directly with Nammo to increase the production of shells here in Sweden. I know production is split between different countries, and we've read that they are working around the clock, they're increasing the shifts, but can you tell us, is there plans at the moment to actually build new production facilities and new assembly lines for these shells? Because if it's just shifts, then there's an upper limit.
Absolutely. So as far as I understand, Nammo now has more than doubled their own production, and they're working 5 shifts, which is in a level that they haven't been working for decades. Aside from that, we're going to provide fundings both from the EU, but also from the Swedish state, in order to invest straight into their production facilities, in order for them to ramp up production. And as far as their estimates is that they can triple the production within a few years. And we're doing this, of course, on a Swedish basis, but similar measures are also being taken place right now in Norway, in Finland, and as far I know, they're also opening a new ammunition plant also in Denmark. So things are progressing quite quickly. Sweden is also leading an initiative called NORDEFCO++, which is the 5 Nordics plus the Baltic countries, the Netherlands, the US and the UK, on seeing how we can coordinate procurement, and then we can do joint procurement together, and then we can place bigger orders, which is good for the industry because then we can be prioritized. We can push the prices down a little bit, because that means we get more ammunition and they can ramp up production. So several initiatives are taking place on the Nordic-Baltic basis as well.
After your meeting last month with President Zelensky in Ukraine, the press release said that there were discussions about perhaps future joint weapon production initiatives between Sweden and Ukraine. Can you give us any details about how advanced those plans might be and what area they'll be focused on, more artillery or drones or vehicles?
I think we stand open for any kind of collaborations. I think it's good. We're in the drone coalition together. We're learning a lot from the Ukrainian side. You're also now part of the 9th family member of the CV90s, which we get reports continuously, which makes the production or which makes us being able to refit the CV90s according to the experiences from the battlefield in Ukraine. In addition, I know the CEO of Saab, BAE Systems Hägglunds and BAE Systems Bofors, and also the head of the Swedish procurement agency was in Kyiv a few weeks ago to discuss these matters further on how we can ramp up production and what kind of joint production we could have as well.
There was this article about a week ago in the Financial Times about Washington potentially discouraging Kyiv from long-range strikes with their own drones at oil refineries in Russia. Can I ask what Sweden's position is on this?
Our position is that Ukraine has the right to defend itself, and it's being exposed to an illegal and unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. As far as I understand, that according to international law provides you with all the rights you need in order to protect yourself.
And just finally, of course, you mentioned here with the medics the Gripen training program. Now there's more and more noise made in the Swedish parliament that this should be moved forward, and of course Sweden has joined NATO. Is there a specific reason at the moment getting in the way of a political announcement, or is there work being done at this point to move this forward behind the scenes?
As we said, one of the conditions was of course for us to be covered by Article 5 and the NATO's common defense planning until such a decision could be made. And we've also been saying within the fighter jet coalitions where there are deliberations how we best could support the work that's going on right now of providing you with the F-16, but I don't exclude the possibility of providing you with Gripen or other platforms as well. But the deliberations are ongoing, and it takes place within the fighter jet coalitions.
Thanks again for Sweden's support, and please let us know when you're in Kyiv next time.
Thank you to the work you're doing, and thank you most of all to the Ukrainian people because of the courageous fight against this horrible illegal invasion from them and me. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.